What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 31 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, the Crusader Wulfric Ergiger army, specifically the Knights Panther Crusader army, had its debut battle, which was a pretty darn long and fantastic fight. It's the weakest this army will ever be, due to the fact that it does not have a mage, and its Empire captains were at that time not yet leveled to provide buffs to the knights, but, well, it's gonna get stronger with every battle. Unfortunately, we did learn that the idea that I had with the Snow Leopards mixing in with the Knights Panther doesn't work because that maim trait that they have, which is really nice, just doesn't function because of the aura that the Knights Panther provide. I also gotta remember that that aura would also then be applicable to any knight near anybody in this army, so we gotta keep them away from the Knights of the Black Rose so that it doesn't override their bleed effect, which is better, generally speaking, than banish. Huh. Bleed and maim. I might actually make a Knights of the Black Rose army down here then. Pop the Snow Leopards into that army instead. That will serve the same purpose. But I think we have enough just straight up knightly armies, so I think we could do like 4 to 6 units of Knights of the Black Rose and then something else in there as well. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I'll double check whether we have any other contact effects, especially nasty contact effects. We do have the Grave Wound ability on the armies of Sigmar, so that's certainly a potential. Let's see if there's other contact effects available to us. But anyway, for now, we got things to do. We're about halfway through this turn, unless I'm mistaken, so let's find whatever it is we're doing. And Gavin, you're just going to wait because we want you to get attacked, hopefully next turn. Gustel Schneider, you are going to Obelisk of Judgment. Were you really the next move? I guess you were. All right, go here. This may just be an auto-resolve army, but it's serving its purpose, as we didn't thus have to send a real army up here. Auto-resolve. And another Sky Titan string that we can certainly put to good use on one of the newly summoned lords that need the range, missile strength, and shield breaker, especially the armies like the crossbow armies and stuff that wouldn't have access to shield breaker because they have no gunnery units. Yes, anyway, you can go into Council of Burgomeisters, and then we will upgrade you. Well, I guess we can upgrade the town immediately. Yes. Alrighty. That was Gustel Schneider. Who is up next? We've got... Oh, did I just skip you? Why didn't I move you before? Weird. Alright, well, whatever. Too late now. Troop Train, you are waiting for one more bit of recruitment, unless I'm mistaken, including a mage and a lord to lead your army. Plus, we'll need another warrior priest, and... Oh, you can't even move. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Stefan von Kessel. Alrighty, now you... I'd love to send you up to fight Rakarth's stuff, but I think we need to take out Draumir Valley, so I guess you're going there first. And then, funnily enough, after all that time building those Sigmarite disciples, I think I might just keep the 2 warrior priests in this army. I kind of don't dislike the idea of them being there, and admittedly we have a pretty solid melee line with 6 units. I rarely do more than 6 melee troops in a single, or melee infantry, in a single army anyway, so this is, you know, par for the course. Yeah, minus the auto-resolve, of course, hating this army, but it is what it is anyway. Let's go this time for... I'm going to say State Troop Levy just for the additional movement range, because we need to get back up here as fast as possible before we trade everything away. Anyway, Stefan von Kessel, I'd really like to get you a nice fight against Rakarth. See how you do against his forces. Boris, you are... Are you not in range? You are not in range. Alright, so go into... raiding stance, channeling stance. Will you suffer attrition here? Apparently not. Huh. Wait, are you immune to frozen attrition? I guess you are. Ooh, hello. Whoa. We've got, ooh, hello. We've got multiple stacks here. All right, then you are going to switch, I'm going to say, do we need the extra melee defense or the additional missile resistance more? It's a lot of potential missile fire from the enemy, so I think Trencher Stance might actually be a little bit... Well, then again, the missile strength and the ammunition doesn't help us, whereas the melee defense is universal. 5 melee defense versus 10% missile resistance. Just out of curiosity, these guys could use the melee defense as well. Yeah, you know what, go here. We'll see if these guys go for us. Oh, are we out of range? Hopefully we're in range. Well, let's level up just in case, because it's a lot of enemies, and it's been a bit since Boris has had to level anybody. Taste for battle for the Knights of the White Wolf. Sharpshooter does not help us. It's... Okay, these guys get these same traits, don't they? And I believe you're good. Alrighty, you have Hold the Line. We can get 1 point in Sigmar's Ward for the missile resistance, and I guess we'll move through towards a Colossal Strike so you can hunt enemy lords. Scarred Vet, Deadly Blade, Foe Seeker, Blade Shield, and Blade Master, putting your stats up to a pretty healthy 98-74, and then you're out of points. Alrighty, what about your Warrior Priest? This is the one that has the Cloak of ULRIC and the Van Horseman Speculum. I feel like we don't have any spare... glittering scales? No, we do not. Alright, well, it is what it is. Hopefully we'll get them. Otherwise, we probably should grab Benediction, so let's go for Tenacity into... I'm gonna say Inviolable. It really doesn't really matter which one. And... you have Holy Warrior. Weapon damage, I mean, I guess that means we'll want to go through this part, the bolstered attack, though the physical resistance would stack nicely with what we have here already. 50 per... wow, I did not know the Knights of the White Wolf had 50% physical resistance, probably due to buffs that are given by Boris. What do these guys have? 45. Yeah, lots of physical resistance. Huh. Because these guys are unbreakable, I was going to do the bolstered attack rather than the physical resistance. Frankly, if we had 2 of these, I would have gone for the physical resistance, but now... I don't like the fact that bolstered leadership would be useless for them. Fire resistance wouldn't be helpful here. Enemy spell resistance, a little bit helpful. I'm still gonna go Armor of Righteousness. Screw it. It feels like being attacky feels more appropriate for the ULRIC army. I'm gonna say Heed Not the Witch into bolstered attack. And we might as well start moving through this. You'll lose armor, but you'll be fine. Alrighty, what about the Amber Wizard, who has no enchanted item, but I don't think we have enchanted items to spare for these guys, so that's there's a good reason for that. I don't really care for Transformation of Kadam, but we do use Curse of Admiral here a fair bit. Pan's Impenetrable Pelt is generally second to Vissen's wild form, but it is fairly useful in this army due to the missile resistance and speed that it confers. From our main army. Definitely, well, main sort of line. Definitely want Sorcerer's Shielding and Onslaught. Sorcerer's Shielding because you're going to be on that Griffin. You could get untapped potential for the additional Winds and Magic Power Reserve. It's universally useful as well. Yeah, let's do that. Do we want a single point? You know what? Let's get at least 1 point in Amber Spear. I don't dislike the idea of being able to use it to occasionally knock out a big boy. Like, well... Manticore, maybe. I was thinking, yeah, like the Carnosaurs, the Stegs. I was actually looking for Hydras and such, but anyway. Ooh, Oseberg also has a tier 4 settlement, a tier 5 settlement, and a tier 4 garrison. All right, Boris, you're gonna have some good fighting soon. Lovely. Humphrey Burkert, you're still hunting the rats. I guess you're going to Durango next. Let's see what's over here. Yeah, this guy's kind of mixed in between attacking, like, with only one army down here, it's kind of unclear as to whether we should move northward or southward to fight Eschen or to fight Scryer. Both of them have a lot of armies running around, and they're both fairly difficult to catch. You don't need the Spotter Spyglass, and we'll turn that into something else. Wait, did the Spotter Spyglass reduce ambush chance? Huh. Funnily enough, you might actually need that. Anyway, don't collect the income and we'll deal with you in a bit. What's your leveling looking like? 4 points? Not that many. I guess we could at least go through Gunsight into... reload reduction into Deadly Onslaught. There we go. And then these guys are... 4 points as well, but I assume that they have everything that they need, so I'm just going to ignore it for now. Anyway, at least until they come up on their next battle. That was Humphrey Burkert. If only I can find you. Recruiter doesn't need to move. Land Admiral, you're not besieging anything, are you? You are. Why did I not? Oh, I was gonna do this between the episodes and then I forgot, didn't I? Well, my bad. Alright, we're gonna have to do it right now. I'm gonna do it real quick. I don't really understand why the Auto-Resolve doesn't like this particular army. Again, I understand why many of our armies are disliked by the Auto-Resolve, because we build them for theme and fun and not for, you know, Auto-Resolve capabilities. But again, this army has 7 of the best units that the Empire has, which is more than I would usually do. In fact, it's significantly more than I would usually do. But anyway, just for fun. You two? Oh. Okay, fine. Let's pop you in here. Oh, let's actually put you all in the light here. Force the undead to move towards us. Maybe we can make it a pseudo-cinematic by not doing too much in the way of control and just sitting our units there. like so. And then the land ships, of course. We'll see how they do just sort of sitting there and firing away. We will put the war wagons into... Well, we'll keep the skirmish mode on them, I guess. Just not everybody else. Alright, like so. Like so. Like so. Maybe a little bit further away just so that they are not... and do that. I'll let these guys break the enemy's lines. And then we'll put you two here and you two here. I mean, technically, one of you should be... You know what? Fine. Which one of you is higher level? I don't know. I also don't care that much. So let's put you here. Because they buff both war machines and... oh, for the love of... they buff both war machines and artillery pieces. Alright, and then I don't want you skirmishing. I would like you guys all to be here as well. And a nice little line. Hopefully the mortar shells don't actually crash into you. And then the wizard, you can be group, I don't know, 2. I'd like the machines to be all group 1, actually. Be group 3. 1, and then 2, in case we have to move them, which, you know, is a possibility. 4, and I'm gonna say... the rest of you probably don't matter over much. Alright, start battle. Alright, and we will go do a little bit of casting. So Spirit Leech on the enemy Strigoi. And then pop that Forbidden Rod, and then hover over here in case the enemy comes along. Did I turn off skirmish mode from the gyro choppers? I did not. Let them float up in the sky and do whatever they can. Huh, I noticed that these guys all... Really? Y'all turn to fighting and firing on this? Why? Alright, well, whatever. Actually, you know what? Group 1, fire at the enemy lord. Group 2, fire at the enemy lord. Let's see how quickly he drops here, and in fact, we'll bump up their capabilities with that ballistics calibration. Got to be a lot of cannon fire going for that enemy lord. Spirit Leech and all aside. Let's see how quickly he'll drop. Though I see that he is healing, or was healing. He had that invocation of Nehek. I do wonder if, by virtue of him getting knocked about by the cannon fire, he will he'll be getting a lot of invincibility frames. A distinct possibility. And also that means, well, actually, I was about to say the bats might be able to reach us, but they're in pretty bad shape anyway. And really, you're going to land on the steam tank instead of on the gyrocopters? Okay, good luck to you. Do we have a Spirit Leech back up and running? Let's double check it. We'll pop it on the Vampire of Death, and then we will switch you guys to firing upon this Vampire. Enemy Lord is just about done for. Rest of the enemy outline is moving towards us. I see some doggos hovering over on this side. Maybe we'll send you two to deal with the dogs. And then... Do we have any dogs on this side? I don't see any. Alright, obviously we could be much nastier by moving through the enemy armies, but... That's all good. You know what? You guys turn off skirmish... Oh, your skirmish mode is off. You guys are supposed to keep skirmish mode. Like so. The mortar ones. The rest of you should be fine. Alright. Anybody else need a top-up, a reload, a restock? Let's, I don't know, restock some of the tanks, I guess. Do you have restock as well? You certainly do. Restock the Deliverance there. Enemies are moving on in. You guys can align yourselves up. And war wagons, I think it's now time to turn on skirmish mode. Or turn back skirmish mode on. How long until the next ballistics calibration? We got 74 seconds. That should be fine. Even without using the sort of nastier aspects of this particular army, which is, you know, sort of causing absolute havoc by having the land ships and the steam tanks just ride through the enemy army, we still don't really have to be that concerned. At least not against, I don't know, what is it, like half a stack and a half a stack, so I guess one full stack, maybe a little more. Not entirely sure because I didn't check fully, but it probably won't matter much. I'm not even sure too many enemies will actually be able to reach us even without us moving. Do love seeing those point-blank shots from the tanks, though. There we go. And this one's gonna move forward. Hey, somebody just shot you in the back. I think it was a mortar shell. Oh, we do have Imperial Tactics. No, this is doing the gash. Oh, wow. We got 6 uses of it. Oh, because we have 5 or 6 of the grand temples of Sigmar, don't we? Go figure. Alright, you guys, reposition. You guys need to reposition as well. And oh, I see some Karen Knights. Alright, everybody activate magical damage. We have some Karen Knights moving in, so now everybody has the Banishment Imbuement and the melee defense plus 10. As well as the immunity to psychology, but I don't think we care about that at all. At least not in this army. There are armies wherein the immunity to psychology will come in fairly handy, but Empire seems to have a really easy access to being able to get immunity to psychology. And I do like easy access. Anyway, with that, the battle is pretty much ours. Just a few more units remaining, not even any need for casting. I think most of the damage that we've taken in this particular battle was damage dealt by friendly fire, more than anything else. Alrighty, and retarget that last enemy unit. A little bit more gunfire of various kinds, or ordnance. Oh, I do love watching those gyrocopters with those brimstone guns. And this was pretty darn brutal for the enemy, but yeah, auto-resolve, you're just being wacky here. $3,000 undead or not, without I don't know, things like Blood Knights and stuff, they were never going to be any kind of threat because they, well, couldn't dish out the damage, and their infantry line was far too slow. Like, almost none of the enemy units except the Dire Wolves and the Fellbats had any hope of catching any of our units. We could have infinitely just kept away from them and gunned them all down. And with the amount of restock and general ammunition that we have, both from the active abilities on the Lords and the heroes and active abilities on the War Wagons, we basically have enough ammunition to deal with, I don't know, 3 times as many units, possibly more, by kiting them. We didn't need to, but we could. What I'm saying is the auto-resolve is insane, and not in a good way. Brass Cleaver, yes, I wanted another one of these. And I'm trying to remember which army I wanted it. Alright, I'm just going to have to figure that out. Occupy. And lose that Brass Cleaver, because you're obviously not in need of it. Oh, I also note that Admiral Tsintla doesn't have any kind of buffs now. Do we have fire damage on any of these guys? We do not. No fire damage, eh? Then Sky Titan String wouldn't be super useful here, would it? And we don't have a fire mage buffing them up. I'm just wondering which particular range buffing item would be best for you. Could do a Hunter's Talent to give you the Amber Spear. I'm not so sure that it's super necessary, though. Do a Dragonfire handgun, but that gives you the flammable. Well, the flammable will at least slow the enemies down, even if it gives you flaming attacks. Would that be helpful? Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you for now, and if we need to switch it later, I think we'll switch it later. We could up your damage more with Sky Titan String, but I feel like the anti-shield block that it offers is kind of wasted in this particular army because it doesn't need it. Except, I guess, for enemies that have ballistic plating, but you know how many enemies have ballistic plating that we're liable to run into. Anyway, the next army after Land Admiral Tsintla is going to be who? Theodra Gossa, you... Oh, no, not you. You sit there. Volmir von Rakov, you're waiting.
Servant of Sigmar.
Bruno, who are you again? Oh, right, the random little army that we set up just to deal with the ogres. Alright, you're going to go to Holiday Retreat. Frankly, Snotwood might have been the easier pickup, but I think it shouldn't matter either way. Decisive victory, the Wardens of the West will die. Do we care? I don't think we care. It's not worth the hard time, especially after we just did that little fight. And yeah, I should have done this between the episodes as well, but that would have gone... I mean, it would have meant going through every single bloody unit or every single bloody army between the episodes, and that's a little much, even for me. I already do a lot of stuff in terms of admin between the episodes. Kurt Helborg, you're stuck where you are until you heal up at least a little bit. You really need your heroes in this army. But heal for now, and then we'll probably go in on the next turn. We'll see if Scarbrand is back. Would be nice to defeat him once again. Builder von Wolfen, you're waiting to build something at Schlaghugel, but we're waiting for that. Same with Ralph Brandt, you're waiting to swap your units around. Volkmar, you're headed towards Buried Colossus of Geheb, and I would like you to go into Palace of Dusk. Oh, it doesn't matter. I was about to say Palace of Dusk so that you don't pick up the plague, but it looks like you will anyway, so... Or at the very least, it's a plague zone. You will, however, deliver all of these lovely Sigmarite disciples to another one of our armies. Hopefully not picking up the plague on your way. Did I pop you into anti-plaguination? I did not. Yeah, but you kind of need the growth, at least for one more turn. Okay, we'll deplagueify you afterwards. Ugh. I can't believe these darn Nurglite plagues are still going down here. We're actually fairly far from Nurgle territory now, but, well, what can you do? Alright, anyway, that was Volkmar. Who's going next? Alrighty, also for those of you waiting for the next campaign or campaigns, we have an update to the game, 6.3, in... I want to say... Oh, you can't actually reach this? Oh, man, okay, I was gonna fight this, but oh well, what can you do? Wait, what about in regular stance? No, you can't. What was I talking about? I forgot. Something important. That must have been not that. Oh, next campaign, right. That kind of is important. Yeah, we got an update to the game, 6.3, I want to say next week. I don't remember which day next week. What I do know, however, is that we'll wait for that and then the update to SFO, so that obviously the campaign, the next campaign, doesn't break with that. Anyway, Cult Huldorf, you're headed to Bogisgrad. And I assume you can auto-resolve this without taking too much damage? Yeah, all good. Oh, you don't have a mage. Wait, do you not have a mage? Okay, you should have a mage, dude. Really, any kind would work here. Maybe we can capture a settlement with a mage building without actually having to move up here. That would be nice. Alright, I'll figure it out. Anyway, long shot cap, all that ignored. We need you to head towards the massive pile of Slaneshi up here as well as Throt the Unclean. And frankly, we're going to need more armies here because the Slaneshi are causing absolute havoc. But hey, the buffer state of Kislev is really working its magic. It's doing a lot of work for us because our ungarrisoned territories are thus not having... well, to be garrisoned anyway. Trying to find who is supposed to be next. Helborg, you're stuck where you are. Elfbrand, you are as well. I already checked you. There we go. Colt Holdorf. Troop Train, you are waiting to get your units replaced by a General of the Empire of the, not the Tactician variety, Esteemed. 3 turn. Oh, that was this turn? Okay, fine. Alright, Troop Train, you, I guess, are gonna head. Oh, it's gonna cause you attrition? Why? Oh, it's still Nurglite corruption, still pretty thick out here. Alright, collect income, turn it off. I would like you to go into channeling stance, and I guess still cross, you'll set up the... you're also waiting for a mage, aren't you? Yeah, but nonetheless, the mage will get to you. And then you are headed north. You actually have to be careful with you. You know what? You're going to go into encamp stance because you're not quite ready to fight yet, but start moving north. If you encounter Mr. Kugath, you're going to have a bit of an issue with it, but, well, if you do, you do. You might then have to have a little debut moment like the Knights Panther did, and fight for your survival. Marius Lightdorf, you need healing, or continue to need healing, so encamp and sit outside. Oh. Will we heal more in enemy territory? I think we will. Let's see, we are 5 and 2 versus... yeah, way more in enemy territory, don't even need to check. Still think it's a very silly element to the game, and it should absolutely not be the case, but it is what it is. Marius Lightdorf, where are we? Luther Custerman, who are you? Oh, right, you're here with Ben Essing. Okay, so I'm gonna have you go to Death Rock. I'm going to have Mr. Ben Essing reinforce at Death Rock. And don't worry. Ben Essing, go here. Man, I really was wanting those Citizens guns, but we need them in so many armies. Frankly, I probably should have just replaced these with mortar war wagons rather than regular mortars, but it is what it is.
Gifted Tinkerer.
In that it's fine. Anyway, you will now auto-resolve and nobody should... oh, you gotta be kidding me, the Nangao. Oh, it's just the Nangao Grenadiers. Well, as long as the Wissenberg's Welcomers don't die, I don't really care. I'm gonna quick save it just in case it's lying and it's gonna kill the war wagons too, but we were going to replace those Nangao Grenadiers anyway. Shame to lose a high tier unit, but we can build better anyway. Alright. Ah, we got a war banner out of that, definitely worth our time. There we go, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. No giant blade for you, sir, especially not one of the master engineers. And then world walkers destroyed at last. There we go, and they will bother us no longer. Pop into... State Troop Levy for the speed. I guess we don't have the corruption anymore. Alrighty, and Leopold van Horstman, you're supposed to join this army. Take the place of the guys that just died. Anyway, you're going this way then. And does it matter which territory? Probably not. We can't get to the Kislewite territory. And I guess you can go up here to hunt down Village, and then you can go this way. I really want Village gone. Alrighty. Oh, actually we heal slightly more in the Pyramid of Burning Skulls than we do in Death Rock. Why that is? Don't ask me, because I don't know. Anyway, that was Luther Custerman. Who is after Luther Custerman? Actually, could probably delete Luther Custerman, but anyway. Did I go past you? Oh, this list. The terrible, terrible list. Volgar Ludenhoff. Okay, no, we did go past you. Albrecht Haupt Anderson? Wait, that's Ben Essing. Oh, there's Luther Custerman. Alrighty, Albrecht Haupt Anderson, you are looking to make use of this army as a sort of auto-resolve stack. Move this way. We'll need help against this, because once again, Dolph keeps having to bounce around between all of these armies, which I'm sure he'll be fine at doing. Anyway, crossbow army very much on the way. I wish we could, I wish the Witch Hunter could have crossbows instead of pistols, but all good. I really feel like the devs should have given lots more options for, you know, weapon loadouts so that you could choose more, since it's clearly possible. Anyway, Scourge of Aquitaine. Now there's some nice stuff in here, but it's probably not worth fighting. If it was a full stack, maybe, but not like this. Go kill this. Yes. Alright, declare war. Don't call allies. We can't leave them there, even if they like us. The rogue armies are not to be trusted, simply because they'll just randomly, they'll randomly attack you. Alright, down they go. Ah, free Talisman of Endurance, though. Usually it's the AI that will ask them to, you know, sort of, ask to join war, and then these guys will be like, okay. And then, yeah, anyway, Talisman of Endurance. I can hold on to it, whatever. All good. Faction destroyed, Scourge of Aquitaine. Lovely. And you can, I don't know, sit... you know what? You can channel. Eventually I'll get you a mage, so it's probably better that you have full mana. Alright, with the Scourge of Aquitaine gone, you know what, I did say we needed more armies down here, and it's not like there's undead to fight for the Knights of Moor, so I guess we'll send them down to help the, I wanted you to join this army too, you know what, go right here. Join the war against Clan Scryer and stuff. We got some machinery and some guns in here as well as the Knights of Moor after all, so I feel like it works. Anyway, that was somebody down here, and oh, that was the end of the list. Lovely. Friendly Blaze doesn't need to move because he's going into an army, and I believe we're good to go to end the turn. I don't remember if we did Diplo, but we'll do it next turn because I don't feel like it. Alrighty, skip, building upgrade. Skip. Hero not moved, outpost upgrade. You know what, we could maybe do some outposts. Nope, we cannot. We need the money. Why do we need the money? Because next turn we're going to requisition, and then that'll mean recruiting a lot of Elector Count state troops, so we'll save it for next turn. Damage building. Oh, it's here, yeah, that's fine. Auto end turn. Alright, a end turn with no attacks, that's surprising. A couple of episodes ago we had an end turn, or basically an episode that was one end turn with nothing but attacks, which was pretty neat. But anyway, great Incantation of Xar, new regional power Karazakarek, yeah, that's really us. A new regional power Carcassonne, thanks Emperor. And settlement sacked, Seep Gore, we don't care. Allied begins outpost construction, creator, constructor, creator, Grievous. Corrupted by Khorne. Well, that's just rude. And ready for duty, Griswold Solman. I don't remember who you are. Technology researched, good. Imperial Allegiance. That's a decent power-up for our melee troops. Barded Warhorse for somebody. Alright, next tech. Hey, these are still one turn. That's nice, so we don't have to skip anything. Now I guess the question will be Hall of Duels versus Memorialism. I want the ability to get that. Cooldown, targeting range. I mean, it's a significant buff to spells. And it's not like we're looking for too many new lords shortly. And they level fairly quick. You know what, I'm going to say Protection of the Patriarch. Frankly, it doesn't really matter either way. We're good. Anyway, go through Protection of the Patriarch and then on to the next best thing. You, Gustav Hall, need to chase down and kill off this guy who I imagine that you can't chase down, but give it a try. Oh! These guys didn't sally out, you little cowards. I assume you're going to be too far away to catch? Alright, well that's annoying. Go into ambush stance right here. Oh, he can't. He's stuck here, isn't he? Alright, well, just go here. We'll see what he does. He might jump down there, but at least then he's not our problem. I want to transfer all of these territories to Karrazakarak, but we can't do that until, well, we've dealt with them. Now, I'm going to hope that Gavin can deal with Trutch by himself, because I think we need Elspeth to deal with these guys down here. With the Crooked Moon, or else they'll just keep taking territory from the... oh wow, Southern Realm rebels down here. They'll keep taking territory from Karrazakarak, which we can't have. Maggot, you are defending Thunder Mountain, and might sally out. We'll give you a shot. I'd rather fight it in the field, especially since it can't be a cinematic battle. Anyway, I immediately start doing things out of order because I'm pathologically incapable. Anyway, you are not able to reach Monolith of Melech, and that's a shame. That's a real shame, in fact. I wonder if we can get another Temp Lord here. Alright, let's try this. Grandmaster of Rena's Blessing. Yeah, campaign movement range. Decent option for a Follower Lord. Karl, you are going to go into encamp. I'm going to go right here. We'll see if this guy can actually reach this place in one turn. Hey, Gulgast. That's the Demon Prince, isn't it? Yeah, so he's got some decent stuff. Let's hope that he stays here, rather than running from Karl. I don't see Scarby. Oh, actually, he could revive at Kazid Bordkarag as well, but anyway. Dolph, where do we send you next? Alright, we could grab the Veil of Bones. I see that the Red Eye has moved away. We still need to deal with him, and I see Valkia is still running around there. If Marius... okay, wait, Marius, if you can... okay, go into March Stance. Go to Iron Fist Camp, which looks poorly defended. If we can knock these guys out, they won't be able to send any more armies at us, which would just be fantastic. So I'll resolve this. And once again, heavy damage to the basic ogres and one of the Grand Cauldron regulars. I'd really love to run into an actual stack so that this army can fight, but the Dolph's been taking all the stacks up here. But I'm not mad about that. Anyway, Dolph, I guess let's grab Veil of Bones. If we can get you this, and then if Marius can take Steel Fangs, then you can loop back up northward without having to worry too much. Can we auto-resolve this? Looks like we can. Okay, I'm not going to trust it. Quick save in case the War Wagons die. It actually hasn't happened in a couple of episodes, but I shouldn't have said anything because I fear that will jinx it. Nope, it looks like we're okay. Occupy. Alrighty, hey, another Rune Fang. Very nice. And the blue Rune Fangs are much better than the purple Rune Fangs, which makes no sense, but, you know, it is what it is. Host Festag here? Yeah, just because it might get sacked again at Seepgore, so why not? Alright, get rid of buildings now. Gavin von Wolfen, you... I guess you're gonna have to fight this, ain't ya? You don't have any of these siege towers, which is not great for this particular army. We could wait for one more turn so we could at least send some of the halberdiers up there. I'll think about it, but we'll see what else we have available to us in this turn as to whether we attack or not. Jürgen Wagner, you... ooh. Any way you could reach Nalheim? No. So these guys have taken it. What do we have at Nalfarling Keep? Yeah, we would have to manually occupy it, which is a bit of a shame. What it is, what it is. You, go for Storm Raven's Roost, and then obviously you follow along. And then, oh, the Tech Thieves. I should have probably sent them around. Okay, you're never going to catch up this way, are you? Try to go for this place. Maybe we can thief some tech from this place. I should probably move the Tech Thieves before anything else. If we leave Village the Cursling as he is, he's going to keep taking territory up here, which is a bit of a issue for us. But nonetheless, I don't want to leave these guys any territory or else they'll recover. As in build a new army. Auto-resolve this, and then we'll just keep chasing Village as best we can. Alright. Probably should have just last turn built a temporary follower lord here, but, well, we built so many of them, I got kind of lost as to where we have them and where we don't. And Waldemar Biber, you who has arrived in the Albion Bowl, you also need a mage. Frankly, wait, okay, what do we have here, incidentally? We have you, Gold Wizard, Ernst Puttkamer, Recruiter Olden, and then Marcus. You're still damaged, though not so damaged you probably can't occupy the Citadel of Lead. We could send you to Aukness. Let me just see what we have battle wizard-wise here. We have a sorcerer. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Let's do sorcerer with a lore of life, Jade Wizard. I'm going to give you to Marcus as a sort of generalist. Because again, I feel like we should be using more Jade Wizards than we are, mostly because they're the best option to hold the Forbidden Rods, because they heal themselves constantly, and B, because by picking the Veneration of Shalia rather, we have the Winds of Magic cost minus 20%, so we should take advantage of it. Anyway, you have the Forbidden Rod now. Also, let's, well, just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this into Winds of Magic cost reduction, further magic cost reduction, and let's do, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Just wanted to pick those. And we'll deal with the other levels later. You're a gold wizard and we'll join one of these armies. I haven't decided which, and then we should do another different type of wizard for one of you. Let's do, how about a light wizard? What do we have here? Serene, kind of meh. Spirited, spell intensity, kind of meh for light wizards because they don't have a lot in the way of damaging spells at the cost of a lot of miscast base chance. And we just do Serene. I'm kind of a little bit too lazy to bother with waiting for fishing for different traits, as I've mentioned before, so we'll just do that. Also, what do you do again? Oh, you do the Aura of Protection, which is okay, but it needs to have a lot of Winds of Magic power reserve. It's basically inferior to the Luminarch's upgraded version, but we don't have that yet either, so we'll deal with it. Anyway, you can go for further study into untap potential and then these, and we'll deal with the rest of the points later when you are needed in terms of fighting. You guys, should you move now? I mean, I guess we could approach Conquata with you at least, although there's a decent then likelihood of you both attacking him. Oh, somebody will need to be in Citadel of Lead, won't they? Alright, you know what? Waldemar, I'm going to send you to Oknus. Pick that up. Should be a quick little auto-resolve, because there's nothing there. And then we will... Okay, actually, I should really move the Tech Thieves before moving anybody else. Okay, auto-resolve this. There's nothing there. Ooh, you got a free War Banner, though. That's a nice pickup. Alright, and we got Doomsinger. Huh, we have both of them now. Nice. I feel like we should put them in one army. Anyway, hero, action, success chance, war banner, enemy killed in battle. Yeah, let's do all the tech thievery because we'll run out. You go to Lonely Ogben. You go to Lost Ericsson's Landing. You steal tech right here. Huh, blue scribes running around out here. And did somebody not steal tech? I guess you all did. Alright, let's see who else needs to move tech thief-wise. Alright, so who are you? Why do we have two? Oh, no, I was about to say, why do we have two of the same name? But it's Ulrich Schneider and Ulrich Schreiber. Go figure. Huh, and they both got confederated from this one faction. It's kind of interesting. Drill Sergeant, I believe you are going to join one of these armies. Then I believe you, Champion, are going to join the Knights of Moor, unless I'm mistaken. Which is down here somewhere. Right, you have a Champion? Yes. Alrighty, just to double up on that, you are supposed to join this army while I have you.
Contraptions to hasten our movement.
Then we'll need a mage of some kind with the more units. Might give them a Luminarch as well, just because I can. I'll think about it. Anyway. Although, frankly, you need to be able to kill droves of enemies more than you need to kill single targets, because you're better at that right now. Not that it matters over much. Anyway, you will start heading southward. We're not going to pass through Athaloran, because it's kind of risky. But anyway, let's move everybody else around. Dieter, you'll be moved eventually. Wait, no, actually, who's Dieter? Oh, right, you're supposed to join this army. You've been chasing it for ages now. Tech Thief. One of the tech thieves. One of the many tech thieves. You cannot reach this place, or you can? Just barely? Alright. And then Bruno, you will be able to reach it as well, but it looks to be decently well defended, and... Huh. I don't know if these guys will reinforce. Actually, if they capture it, I'd be pretty happy with that. So let's do this. We will park ourselves in camp stance right outside it. And we'll see if Mr. Makari Torsky is willing to go after Snotwood so that we can trade all of this to them. And yeah, there's some kills, which is green territory for us, but we have enough territory, we don't need it. We'll give these guys this territory as well. In fact, maybe giving it to them right now is the better option. Actually, you know what? We'll save it for when we declare war on the Disciples of the Maw. Because this... Oh, wow, the Disciples of the Maw have moved pretty far. Okay, we need to bail out the lizards or they'll be dead before we can send an army down there. Okay, we need more armies down here. Anyway, friendly bourlets, you're fine as you are. Tech thieves. Alright, tech thief here. And tech thief here. And I believe there should be a tech thief here. Alright, that's 3. Let's see where we've got more. I do wish you could set them to auto-tech thievery between the end turns. Baldric at... Okay, I didn't see what your name was before I clicked away, but anyway. You are fixated. What are you? I wanted 2 of the same type. Spirited, yeah, okay. I wanted another spirited one for Gelt for his apprentices, so we'll leave you as you are. Hans Hart.
The Empire.
Huh?
Yes, my lord.
Wait.
Invention is my gift.
I guess we'll put you in this army then. Alright, so Recruiter Olden, I'm going to have you take... I don't know, this guy. Doesn't really matter. And then you are going to pop into this army. Like so, and then we'll get a couple of Empire captains in here as well, and probably at least 1 engineer. Oh, I should have built the engineer already, but we... Oh, we have to wait until the foundry is finished. Also, the outfitted... You will be needed here. For the crossbow army. They'll need witch hunter retinues to join the Akshina ambushers and the Stir River Patrol. Anyway, Baldric Atziger? I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, you will wait here. Gunther Hesselhoff. Who are you? We got too many heroes running around. You're, I think, supposed to join the Myrmidia army. Oh, we also need another Amber Wizard, hopefully of the spirited variety. Actually, I don't know why I bothered with choosing the spirited variety, but I have Hasty. Oh, Hasty is really good on you guys as well. Let's go for Hasty. And just so we don't have to wait. And you're obviously going to go on the Imperial Griffin. And you will also get the Book of Ashore. We have plenty of those to spare, because every single green arcane item turns into a Book of Ashore, so it seems you have an infinite number of those. Anyway, Star Student, Timbre Scholar, Hardened, Kettle's Call, there we go. And then most importantly, we'll go for... You can get Sorcerer's Shielding, because you're likely to get attacked. When's the magic cost? Then we'll do this. Technically speaking, both of you will need Fencer's Blades. Do we have any spare Fencer's Blades on you? Magic items? Because you're going to need to fight, yes. Fencer's Blades, and then we will do... I'm going to say Obsidian Amulet to get the bonus armor. And then you will also need... Armor of Silver Steel. I've been keeping these for these guys to, you know, armor them up as much as possible. Because since they're on griffins, they're actually likely to fight. Anyway, that's good. Anyway, let's see who else needs to move. Simon Wagner, you will need to cross and move towards Crusader Wolfric Outgigger to join him. His army is probably capable of taking Obelisk of Usirian at this point. With a quick little auto-resolve, assuming there's nothing there, which there really isn't. So you can do this. No need to wait for the tech thieves. And then you two will join back up together and then spread out. And you can declare war on the ogres once you're there. Oh, we'll also need to transfer the snow leopards away. Hey, a free banner of eternal flame. I wanted a second one for our fire army anyway, which is great. Not for you, sir. Alrighty, and I might give you a regular Rune Fang rather than one of the inferior purple ones, and just give those to heroes. As odd as that may sound. Anyway, tech thieves. Where be you? You can go to Monolith of Airlock. And... Are we at the end of the tech thievery? We got one more. Alright, where is this last one? Did I forget one down here? Oh, I actually completely forgot about you, yes. Alright, you're gonna go down here. Ooh, this guy has an army here. Might actually be able to get a fight for Volkmar before these guys arrive, which I certainly don't mind. But we'll have to wait until we get there in the order to do it. So, Gavin... Okay, no, not you, because you're waiting. Potentially waiting. Theodric, alright, so how do we deal with the last remnants of these guys? Huh, where are you going? Alright, I would like you to move here. Actually, you know what? Go into march stance. Oh, that's as far as you can move, eh? Alright, go here. We'll see how these guys react. They were, it looks like, able to rebuild some units there, but that's fine. You're making me nervous. Ooh, you've got some good stuff. Black Orcs, Arachnaroks, Stone Trolls, nice. And Boar Boy Biggins as well. Good for you. You can go to Carrick Bufdar, which, it's not going to let us auto-resolve, I'm willing to bet. Just like it did in that last little fight. Huh, it doesn't seem to be killing anything. Heroic victory and medium casualties. I'm gonna quick save and I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna hope. Hope against hope. Alright, don't just screw me on this game, come on. Yep, it killed the war wagons. Well, that's a cut. Damn it. Why do you do this game? Why lie? Just, why lie? Just tell me the truth. That's all I'm asking for. I'll be right back. Alright, there we go. Just did it manually instead and then cut it out, or just did it between the cuts, but you know what I mean. Anyway, silly auto-resolve. No damage, free banner of swiftness. Oh, did you not have a banner of swiftness? Oh, my bad, Sintla. I did not mean to do that. Huh, okay. I'll keep fine. Oh, I remember why I did that. It's because he's already faster than all the other tanks, so they can't keep up with him anyway. Nonetheless, I keep by. Alright, Banner of Swiftness and Carrick Bufdar, which we will trade probably to one of our allies. Oh, please tell me you can reach this place. Yes, you can. Go to Crinol. And then these guys will be down to just the one territory. Tunneling stance. Huh. Okay. I guess it is probably quite helpful to them. You can actually auto-resolve, though it will still do damage to us. Oh, I do like the free Asp bow, however, as we've been giving those to several of our newly... Oh! I swapped out your weapon because I was going to give you one of the blue rune fangs, didn't I? Let's see, magic items, where are the blue rune fangs? Right here. I still haven't decided where to put the Executioner's Blades because Executor causes, what's it called? Desyncs and doesn't let us do cinematics, and obviously that's not so great. And I'll just have to maybe give them to range units, we'll see. Actually, together with the Asp bows, well, no, but then the enemies might be in range of these guys. I'm not sure. Anyway, these guys have Asp bows for now, and I think that's not going to be any different from you, so Asp bow for you as well. I think we'll do one more. Anyway, you guys keep recruiting. We got Ice Guard and lots of other stuff on the way. Now, who was that just fought? That was Admiral Tsintla. Now we have to find whoever was next. Alright. Everything's out of order and I'm confused again. I'll find him, don't you worry. Gustav Schneider. Wait. How did I move you, but I hadn't moved Gustav Schneider, have I? Weird. Alright, maybe I just skipped you? Bizarre though that may be. Alright, Gustav, I guess you are headed up... I could go this way, but frankly you might be more needed here. Yeah. Alright, go northward again. Like so. Start moving that way at the very least. Then troop train, you're going this way as well. You got a delivery of named and high-level Sigmarite disciples, or Sigmarite I mean, sort of. But anyway, flagellants. All right, good. And that was Gustav Schneider, who now we gotta find again. There he is. Easy find this time. Balthazar Gelt. You. All right, now that's a question. Obviously, we can't have Ralph Brand take these guys out because there's too many of them there, which means I guess we send Balthazar north. I did want him to deal with this, but I guess we don't have much of a choice in the matter. All right. Oh, actually, that reminds me of something. You... Okay, wait. First of all, go right to the edge of your territory here.
It is best to move.
I wanted to do two things. First of all, what do we have in the way of... Okay, Eldred's Guard. So... I would like you to lose one spear, like so, and replace it with an Eldred's Guard, like so. Then, what others do we have? We have Bordermen, which are great. Could potentially use them in this army. We have Northern Mariners, and New Altdorf Retinue, and Citizens Guns as well. Alright, we gotta figure this out, because we gotta do requisition. Where is the army? This army. Okay, so you... Okay, so you can actually lose these now, and they'll get replaced by Eldred's Guard as soon as we requisition, and frankly, these two will as well, so those were only temporary there anyway. Then, I guess we can give the other Sutzen's gun to Mr. Marius Leitdorf. Shame to lose a high-tier mortar like this, but I'd rather have these so that they don't kill off our own ogres. Though I do wonder whether the ogres will take too many hits from them. We'll see if this actually works, as in whether this army functions in the way that it's supposed to. I'm not 100% sure that it will. But nonetheless, at least give it a try. Anyway, citizens, guns for you. Good. And then we need to get the others off cooldown, or who are you? Oh, right, you're supposed to deliver these guys. All right, so go here, deliver the high-level huntsman to you. We got the other stuff, the ice guard being constructed for the ULRIC army, or one of the ULRIC armies. All right, trade and then trade, like so. All right, because I don't want to, you know, go too heavy on the huntsman. Maybe 1, 2 more. We'll see. Depends on what the army starts looking like after that is done. What is needed is to figure out where do we put the bordermen and where do we put the Nordland Mariners. How's our number of Nordland Mariners in this army right now? We got 2. I do want to noble sons abroad for them, and frankly, the Nordland Mariners are going to be significantly stronger than the other stuff. You know what? Take the halberds from them. Let's give them 1 more unit of mariners. And hopefully that'll be sufficient. I'm not even sure that you need Empire captains. I mean, yeah, they'll give you armor. I will think about it. And then we could actually swap out the new Altdorf retinues. They'll probably be less useful than the other stuff in this army. But anyway, Bordermen and Wissenberg's Welcomers. It's a bunch of grenade units. Are we using grenade units anywhere else, or do we have sufficient numbers? Does the Moor army need them? Last time I played, we had the Mordermen, which are Bordermen, and then Moor army, but you're kind of out of space, to be perfectly honest, so I think you're okay. You know what, let's just pop them into one of the recruiter armies, and if we need to send them somewhere, we'll directly send them somewhere. They're about to get reset anyway. Let's do that. Then we will requisition. First of all Elector Count state troops perform. Beautiful. Then Myrmidia.
Huntsman General.
2 Eldred's Guard. And the 2 Sootsen's guns. There we go, and now the only thing that you are missing is a fire mage who is on the way. Alright, beautiful. And also, I don't know why I put you into channeling stance in camp, please. Alright, start heading this way. Nearly done. And then you are going to need a Knights of Moor and a Stubborn Bull. We need to get these on cooldown as well. Knights of Moor and Stubborn Bull, which completes your army. There we go. All the knightly orders. Frankly, I'm still on the fence about leaving all of them, as opposed to taking out 2 of the Drakvald riders and replacing them with Empire captains. Or possibly mages. I'll think about it. It would make the army a little bit healthier in terms of their capabilities. And we also don't want them to feel too similar to this army, although I feel like they won't, especially since we're taking out those snow leopards. And I still gotta think about what we gotta put in here. But yeah, I like the... Oh, you know what? While we're here, who's a recruiter? Okay, so Albert Zek, you... Okay, actually, you need 2 things. First of all, let's take a look at Warrior Priest. We have Zealous Priest. That's the type we needed here, right? Yes, alright, so... let's do this. We'll get a Zealous Priest over here. And then we will take out... I'm going to say maybe one of the Sigmarite disciples. Oh, actually, no, you're going to need a mage. Lose 2 of the regular flagellants. Because we were going to put more flagellants in another army anyway, and this army, being a caravan-style army, might be a little bit weak. So I think that's the way we'll do it. Alright, then you can start moving over here. March stance. Or, you know what, channeling stance. You'll definitely need a gold wizard, because you will need the additional armor that a gold wizard would provide. So, we'll get you a gold wizard in a second. We've got that priest up and running. We do need another priest of the unstoppable charge variety, and the gold wizard fixated. Let's go for fixated. And just so that we have somebody. And the main reason we want Gold Wizard is for the Tempered Aura to make those guys a little bit stronger, because they're all going to be, you know, sort of sitting in one place. It's magic reduction. Yes. Like so. being a caravan army and all. And then also you will obviously get to your, where are we here? Book of Assure. There we go. Rest assured. Anyway, you can pop into there. That army is now complete. I did have the right lord, right? Yeah, protective. Additional missile resistance for these guys, which is most definitely needed if they're going to be in a caravan formation. They're going to have a lot of difficulty against enemy range units. Now we do have a bunch of other faith sort of unit stuff here. Oh. I could use it temporarily to recruit some stuff. What I was gonna say is okay, you know what, take the disciples. You go here. I would like you to build, let's say, 6 for now, Knights of the Black Rose, but we might swap those out later. Root Marcher, Leader of Renown, Iron Disciplinarian, Irrepressible. I want Headhunter. Oh, we'll be 1 short of Headhunter. Well, that's a shame, but it is what it is. I shouldn't have, well, I think we got this from a confederation, so yeah, anyway. You will want to get 1, 2, 3, 4 knights, 6 Knights of the Black Rose here. Alright. We're not going to bother with the call to arms here. I think if we should need it, we'll send it elsewhere. Send aid, not super useful to us right now. Open the gates, however, might be. Somewhere, but I'll try to figure that one out between the episodes rather than wasting time right now. Anyway, let's get back to doing things in order, because our staging ground is starting to get rather confusing. Minus Philip Ivan, I guess you can start moving up towards the Great Idol of Mork. You two will still need to separate yourselves from each other, but it's fine for now. And at least there's no plague here, so that's nice. Alright, so who was next out of all that? Arch Recruiter, okay, I think we've got enough. Baldric Stroam, you are headed southward through the territories of the Vampire Coast. Want to see how those, do we not have, oh, we can't trespass in your territory? Wait. Yeah, we can't, alright, we'll have to do that. Ah, man, I was hoping to, Tanea and Verdanos, let me just see here. Tanea. 105, it's not gonna happen. Verdanos, also not gonna happen. Alright, fine, just do the military axis for now. A moment. Who was this supposed to go to? Oh, it's supposed to go to these guys. Oh, right, I forgot about you. Go for the training field. Really want to trade that for Elementa. Hey, stop building military structure there, you jerk face. Damn it. It's gonna make it worth more and make it harder to for us to trade it away from them. Anyway, yeah, military access with these guys for now. Give us your money because you've made me annoyed at you for having to do this rather than giving us your territory. Mostly because I want to grab this territory for us because it's kind of near our existing territory. And then trade the rest of this territory down here to them. Alright, but good enough for now. Anyway, Baldric Stroam, you have moved. Who is after you, sir? Stefan von Kessel, yes, I think you're just moving northward to... Oh, they decided not to... Hello, Boris. It looks like you got yourself a fight, a pretty good fight by the looks of it. So, von Kessel, I'm gonna move you immediately up here. And then, as soon as you're done moving, I'm pretty sure Boris is next in the list anyway, and I don't care if he is because we're going to attack. Ah, this should be fun. This should be real fun. Who do we want to attack first? I feel like... I don't think this army would run. It might be nice to knock out these guys first with their artillery and their monsters. Although, I guess every single one of these armies has artillery and monsters, so it doesn't really matter. These guys, by virtue of being in march stance, would move on to reinforce while being tired, which would mean they'll be slower to reinforce, whereas we will be tired after fighting them, but not after fighting these guys, meaning we should attack Mara first. Tactically, it's probably the better move, so go after Mara. Like so, Pyrrhic victory, casualties medium, we got 2.5, in fact a little bit more of Dark Elves to worry about. Ooh, they do have Shadows of Anlek available to them, and the Demon Net summoning, which in fact is fairly threatening to the Wolfkin because of their lack of melee defense. Still, it'll be a really fun fight. Go Boris. Alrighty, here we go, a big old pile of it. Huh. Did they... I didn't notice that half of the... well, maybe not half, but a good portion of the Swords of ULRIC have one bare arm. Go figure. This seems like a not so smart idea, but I guess maybe they're big fans of Karn. But anyway, as I was saying, here we go, the battle begins. A big old pile of Dark Elves against us, and funnily enough, though, we're fighting Rakarth and not Lokir, at least Rakarth's faction, and not Lokir's. We are, whoa, what the heck, camera jumping around. We are fighting a simply obscene number of Black Ark Corsairs, and just going to have to work our way through them, but of course the anti-large handbows should be a big threat to any of our children of ULRIC or our Knights of the White Wolf. So definitely going to have to make sure that we target them, as well as the high anti-large damage dealing Scourge Runner chariots, also a big threat to us. So we've caught these guys and forced them to be slowed down by a Curse of Anrahir and allowed our units to close, while the rest of our units can go after the enemy critical targets. Boris has at this point defeated the enemy Medusa, and we have closed the distance with our melee and the enemy's melee. Of course, this is also just the beginning of the fight, as this is the first enemy army and two other armies are moving in to reinforce. So we're looking to not only destroy this army here, but also to chase down as many of the units as we can, because this first army, as we decided prior to the battle, is the one that isn't in march stance. And thus it's critical that we chase down and destroy every single unit, which is, I suppose, another benefit to having attacked this army first, as we do have time to chase them down before the reinforcements arrive. They are here, but they will take some time to get to us, and this first army has by and large been destroyed via our blitz attack, our rush of the enemy. And Boris, having defeated the enemy Medusa, and is now working on the enemy Lord, who should be dead in a couple more hits. And there we go. Down goes the enemy Sorceress. And I believe the last of the Black Ark Corsairs are in the process of being crushed. Alright, this first little army, the battle went fairly well for us. We took about 30% damage on some of our units, and a few enemy units remain to be destroyed. And ooh, looks like those handbows do manage to bring down at least one of the children of ULRIC. But they will close the distance and hopefully engage the enemy, allowing for the, I guess, slower elements of the Knights of the White Wolf, 63 move speed compared to the 70, to close the distance as well. There we go. And together they should be able to tear those Black Ark Corsairs to shreds. Alright, no problem from the first army. The second and third are moving on to the field, and we are going to reposition ourselves and get ready to face off against them. Now, we don't want them immediately routing, although, funnily enough, we could obviously have rushed here, and any units that ran away we wouldn't have cared about since they're in march stance, but generally speaking, want to draw out the battle into the center of the map. This will, however, also give us the opportunity to make better use of the mobility offered by the Knights of the White Wolf and Children of ULRIC, the fast movers, generally speaking. A single use of the Amber Spear hits the Feral Carnosaur, does roughly as much damage as the charge of Boris, but of course the charge of Boris doesn't cost us any mana, just opportunity cost. Block of Doom comes down on the piles of Black Ark Corsairs, who I note have no magical resistance, and that should be a fairly decent bit of damage. The Feral Carnosaur having a fairly bad time against the Griffin. Yeah, Griffin is pretty big. The Carnosaur may be bigger, but not that much bigger, and in fact won't be in the fight, as it's going to book it on out of there, having dropped down to about half of its HP. Nothing out of the Carnosaur, I guess. And the rest of our army is still repositioning. It looks like we chased down most of the units from the first army, although the ones that decided to move through the reinforcing units, well, we're just going to have to leave them. Can't do too much about it. Alright, everybody's forming up and getting ready to wade in with those Warhammers once more. At least over on the left flank. The right flank units are still just making sure they get rid of the last enemy handbows that they can. Don't want to be facing off against those handbows again. Alrighty, and we put the Teutogan Guard in front of the Wolfkin. The Wolfkin do have 30 and 35 missile and physical resistance, and these guys have 30 and 35 as well, but they also have 152 armor on them, which is a fair bit. And here we go again. The disciples of Ulrich crash into the enemy lines of Dreadspears, and ooh, the enemy gets the activation of their murderous prowess just as the battle lines close. That was perfect, and almost felt like it was on purpose, but I guess it was just a very happy coincidence for the Dark Elves there. Well, we're going to have to overrun their lines while they're in murderous prowess, though fortunately we do have the advantage of this second and third army being in march stance, and thus the Children of Ulrich, especially with that bleed that they cause, should be able to dish out heavy damage rather quick. Alrighty, the enemy lord is also out as Boris has once again found and killed off a second supreme sorceress. Down she goes, and Boris will move on to dueling the enemy newly arrived feral manticore up in the sky. Our fast movers have entered the fray once more, one charge with the combined efforts of the Children of Ulrich and Knights of the White Wolf through a unit of Black Ark Corsairs, and then heading towards the enemy artillery and other Black Ark Corsairs, Dark Shards, whatever they can find immediately after that. A very nice big old distributed battle, but a pretty epic one, you gotta admit. Boris is having a lot of fun by the looks of it. Ooh, a feral Stegodon is on the field and actually has managed to reach our battle lines because Boris is busy with that. Feral Manticore. On the bright side, though, while Boris's Griffin may be busy, our Amber Wizard is here to lend a hand, or a claw, or a beak, or talon, I guess. And we'll be attacking that feral Steg while buffing everybody around him, and maybe even dropping a few of those Kettle's Call hawks upon the enemy. Fortunately, it looks like the Steg drops down to half HP, and with the Steg breaking, I don't know if it was coincidence or not, but as soon as it breaks, the army breaks, or perhaps as soon as the army broke, the Steg broke as well. Lovely. With that, the battle is ours, went pretty well in our favor. Obviously, the massive debuffs from the enemy being very tired from the march stances, or at least the second and third army, and definitely played in our favor. And the fact that the terrain was decent here, we didn't have to deal with too many trees, and our fast movers had plenty of room to maneuver. Great fight for Boris. Everybody did well. Everybody got to play. There we go, an absolutely beautiful fight for Boris, and it looks like we did pretty darn well. The various Wolfkin hovering between, let's see, 20k, 35, 37k, 37k again, so yeah, about 20 to 40k damage on them. A little bit less on the supporting units of Teutogan Guard, but that's as expected, as they're not frenzied damage dealers in the way that the Wolfkin are, and are technically support units. Fedoran Rodsener, why do you have a name? Huh, that's weird. It's very weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't recall doing that. I don't recall naming you. Do you actually have that name, or? Oh, okay, well, whatever. Maybe you do and I just forgot about it. It just seems like a single unit name rather than a, you know what I mean? But anyway, the units of the Things in the Woods / the Children of Ulrich provided nice support with the main damage dealing of the 30 to 40k out of the various Knights of the White Wolf. As well, solid damage out of our Amber Wizard, primarily on Flock of Doom spam. We can see his kill count is low, but his damage count is high, which is a par for the course for the Flocks of Doom. And then, of course, Boris himself, 35,000 damage, considering he was going after lords and single entities. Very solid as well. Praise Sigmar. Alright, and then after praising Sigmar, we could go after you, or we could just ignore you and go all the way to Osberg. Might be the better option here. Wait, are you able to go to Osberg like this? No. Alright, I think we'll just ignore you. It's like one unit remaining, and I'd rather not to waste the time. Now, we do have defenders here. Oh, hello. Wait. Executioners, Black Ark support, Dread Knights, Black Dragons, War Hydras. It may be one stack, but it's it feels like it's a stack worth fighting. Now, this is not a walled settlement, but it isn't a field battle either. It'd be a minor settlement battle, wouldn't it? Well, either way, I think this is definitely worth fighting. I guess it's a Boris type episode. All right, let's level him up then, and then let's get into it. You should be getting Wound Maker. We have 8 points remaining, which means we could do Lightning Strike if we wanted it. He doesn't need any more red line buffs. I don't care for Indomitable, as it's rather useless. Brass Lung similarly is not useful, as it its range is too short, and at the same time, the leadership is useless for the Wolfkin, and also Boris himself is very far away, typically from the main line, killing off other things, which is as he should be. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we could just get Lightning Strike. I don't see us needing it too much, but it's probably worth a little bit more than the 15 armor and 30 charge bonus that Boris would get, considering his armor is reasonably high already, and his charge bonus is pretty solid as well. Yeah, plus this gets us... Well, actually, we could still do this and just get Reassuring Presence. What's the likelihood that we ever actually need this? It does have the benefit of giving us the battle reinforcement time reduction and enemy battle reinforcement time plus 50%, which actually counteracts the bonus that the Dark Elves seem to have, as their reinforcing armies seem to arrive on the field very, very quickly. Surprisingly, shockingly quickly. Though this is not super useful, and then we'd have to go through two useless points, but again, full plate armor. At 15 armor, it feels like it's not that worth it. Yeah, fine, we'll do Lightning Strike. We'll do Fervent, Irrepressible, and then Lightning Strike. Like so. Alright, level you guys up as well before we jump on in, and... Right, you can now go for hitting even harder. Let's go Heed Not the Witch. And we should probably max out Wild-Eyed since we're making you more fighty. And let's get your Mark of Fish instead of in case you get hit by magical damage. You have Onslaught. We should grab Potent. Let's get at least a second point into the Amber Spear. The miscast base chance isn't as valuable. Considering you're all about Flock of Doom spam, though, experience, then that cooldown reduction is probably worth our time. There we go. Let's do another Boris fight then. Yeah, this should be pretty good. This is a very elite garrison. Damn, it's all tier 4 and 5s. Look at that. Anyway, go.
Wise counsel!
Alrighty, here we go again, and I just gotta say, once again, I love fighting in Kislev, and I love fighting in Norska, well, and Nehekara as well. The desert and the tundra and the frozen territories, basically. All of the maps that give this very lovely, picturesque lighting and allow us to see everything. Anyway, should be a pretty fun fight. Lots and lots of elites to the enemy's name in this particular battle. Black Ark support and all of that. Cold One Dread Knights will be the first units to face off against us, and we are going to charge the Blades of Ulric, Swords of Ulric. Is it Swords of Ulric? It is Swords of Ulric. Into attack. Not a great matchup for us, though we do have a fairly high melee attack on these guys, and at least they can hold back the Knights while we move in the two Togen Guard with their extremely high armor-piercing damage. Good lord. 114. These guys hit as hard as, well... They hit as hard as, I don't know, maybe... Well, not quite as hard as Cold One Dread Knights, but they hit very hard is what I'm getting at. And it's good. 103. Well, the Black Guard and Nagarond are about even, but nonetheless. Ooh, and here comes a Black Dragon Breath upon us. I was unfortunately hoping that the summoned flock of hawks from the Kettle Skull would stop it, and the Hydra will use its breath to knock the hawks out. Interesting. Well, unfortunately, they weren't able to stop it, and Boris is busy in a duel with another one of the dragons. But he can only keep one distracted. Oh well, if the enemy gets an AoE attack on us, we can follow suit with our own as a Soulfire comes down, and then the enemy does the same and gets a Chill Wind through our blob of units as the enemy drops monsters and elites down, and just after this barricade blocker. to stop us from breaking into the enemy settlement. Alright, good job to the AI. We do have our fast movers, but we're going to get a few of them to move around, while two of the Knights of the White Wolf, head directly for the War Hydra and the Black Dragon in the midst of the enemy formation. Boris can't help until that dragon is defeated, though Boris is lost only about 5-10% of his HP, while the dragon's down to about 35%. Which is pretty good. I'm just gonna have to keep everybody here in this blob buffed up as best we can, combining Doom of Negation, Pan's Impenetrable Pelt for a massive increase to damage resistance, melee defense, etc, 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 and I'm sure the Banishment is helpful as well. Still, it's super elite enemy units here, and they are holding us back. The combination of Executioners, Blackguard of Nagaron, and Dread Knights is a very nasty one, especially with Hydras and Dragons to anchor the line, and the occasional Black Arc support that the enemy likes to drop in right on the blobbiest portion of our army. But what can you do? And just going to have to deal with it, and hopefully the buffs that we have from our mage will suffice. Time for Boris to enter the fray as well. The dragon, I believe, has been defeated by our other units, and one Hydra is booking it on out of there, but the other one will, well, take a few hits from Boris. The thing that is, however, working for us is that not enough casualties have been made. What do you do with casualties? Inflicted. Not enough casualties have been inflicted, and thus the enemy does not have its murderous prowess, or murderous mastery, I should say, as it's mostly super elite units and they have the mastery version of it. And just unfortunate for them that they can't use it or have not yet been able to use it. And just a good old-fashioned brawl, however. Tactically, not too much to say about this, at least not yet. We will split away two of the things in the woods to go and chase after the War Hydra, mostly so that they can apply their grave wound to it, and... Yeah, okay, that's the same thing that the armies of Sigmar have, isn't it? I wonder if we can apply that in some way, but anyway, I'll think about it. Anyway, it looks like the last of the monsters have been defeated, got a little bit easier as soon as Boris arrived to help out, and it's time to send a few more troops in. There is still the enemy Death Hag and more Black Arc Corsairs, Bleak Swords. I'm pretty sure there's a unit of Executioners running around here somewhere that our fast movers are just going to have to deal with. In the meantime, over all the way back here, we summoned a unit of Hawks who do some damage to the Dark Shards, and they distracted the unit of Executioners. And Boris is going after that darn Sorceress, who has gotten 13,000 damage on her after those few uses of the Chill Wind, so good for her. But it looks like she will shatter in terror. And Boris will move to help against the Death Hag while the Amber Wizard finishes the Sorceress. Lovely. Alright, Boris has landed, providing the, well, Listen's Wild form for now, but also providing Stand Your Ground as soon as it's off cooldown, and there we go, finally that Murderous Mastery, or Prowess, has activated. Too little too late, I think, as the bounce power has shifted to about 75% in our favor now, and the enemies are running out of units. Even with the Executioners soon to close the distance, it probably won't be enough. Here, Executioners and Blackguard are still holding just outside of this barricade. Very curious tactic by the AI. I wonder why it's doing this. I mean, it doesn't have range units to fire into our blob here, although admittedly, by forcing us to blob up like this, it will, well, it did plenty of damage with that Black Arc support, even with us keeping a few units back. However, it has allowed us to repeatedly rotate units. These were the units that went in first, got damaged, got rotated out, and then got replaced by others. We didn't obviously rotate the Swords of ULRIC, which took severe damage and are down to 10% of their HP, but they're summoned units, so they hardly care. And just a little bit more work, and it looks like the enemy army is nearly done for. I believe the Death Hag has now been defeated by Boris, who has now turned his sight, his hammer, and his griffin. Actually, I think he's using a sword, but anyway. And his griffin upon the Executioners, who stand against them, but probably not for too much longer. Wavering army losses, and it looks like the Executioners will turn, and so will the rest of the army give up, giving the battle to us. Lovely. All right, some couple of pretty great fights for Boris, and once again, really enjoyed these Frozen and Norscan maps. Alrighty, there we go. Definitely a tough defense from the Dark Elves. Hardly surprising, because I'm pretty sure the Dark Elves have the best garrisons in the game. And with a garrison with 2 Executioners, 2 Blackguard, 3 Executioners, 2 Blackguard of Nagron, 2 Dread Knights, 2 Black Dragons, 2 War Hydras, that should hardly be of any surprise. And Black Ark support as well. But anyway, worked out pretty well for us nonetheless. We did take severe damage on some of the units with Wolfkin, and a few of the others as well, but we were able to simply rotate them out after they had taken sufficient damage in that choke point, and then send in fresh units, thereby keeping their model count losses low, even if their HP damage was high. We can see that the Warrior Priest, though, doesn't have that luxury, and he got down to about half of his HP, and being a single entity, won't recover. Nice fight. Yeah, I guess we'll capture it. I mean, we could sack it, obviously, but the money isn't a big deal for us right now. Got a Wizard's Campus here, huh? That's interesting, as well as a Temple of Sigmar. But anyway, this is all still going to Boris and stuff. Man, he's going to have a very big empire. Look at all this Norscan territory we've gifted to him, and there's plenty more up here. But with effectively no other allies that can hold Chaos territories or Chaotic Wasteland, other than Oshiotlik, who I'm pretty sure is dead, considering he starts here. Boris is really the only option. And those darn Wood Elves are gonna screw us too, and not in a good way. But anyway, what can you do? Anyway, I didn't want to end the episode without another battle, and those 2 were pretty good ones. So for the glory of ULRIC, we fought them and significantly put a dent in Rikarth's faction. He still does have his main stack to take out after all, but Boris is on the approach. Otherwise, next time, I think we still have at least a few moves to make, but I'll do the admin between the episodes of the building, and then see if we can't recruit a few more whatever is needed in whatever armies. And I'll deal with the rest of this, figuring out which units have to go into which armies, because that still obviously has to be done. At the very least, one to get them on cooldown, or at least one unit to get on cooldown. Anyway, so I'll deal with that, then we come back, do the rest of the turn, and then end the turn, and then go to the next turn, as one does. Anyway, stay tuned for more, Karl. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they'll determine the length of the rest of the campaign. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.